Hey guys, it's Redstone Mason here, and welcome back to another Datapack showcase. Here, I am not in my Redstone test world, I am in a new world to showcase a new Datapack. And this Datapack counts the bees in a bee nest or beehive, and displays it above the bee nest or beehive. So, let's see it in action. We're gonna go bee nest. It's empty, of course. No. You just need any entity on top of the bee nest. It could be an item, a player, you could even shoot at it. So I'm going to display shooting at it. When I find a bow, I will. Yep, there we go. So if you shoot at it, since the arrow counts as an entity, the arrow will work too if you have good aim. There we go. And it will automatically update to the score. Now, just to show, you could also do this by standing on it. Literally any entity works. You could drop an item on it. So that's how it works, and it will display a number above the bee nest or beehive. To show it works with the bee nest or beehive too. There we go. And here it is counting. It is checking every half a second, checking how many bees are in the beehive or nest. So if I put a bee in, it updates to 1. Put a bee nest in here. Oh, it went into that one, so that's 1 now. That's 2. Put a bee in there, 3. And now both of these are full, so I know that this bee can't go in either of them. But if I place down another beehive here, then once the bee notices it, it will go in to this beehive, sorry. There, it notices the beehive, and it went inside. So now I can stand on it or drop any entity on it, and it will display a 1, showing that there is 1 bee inside there. Place a bee here, goes into there, now it's 2. And then if you remove the beehive, the armor stand will automatically be removed. Now, to show how the Datapack works. So it's really simple. Here it is. It's 4 functions. This one happens whenever you load up the world. It will add 1 scoreboard that is just a dummy. It will add another dummy scoreboard. It will set this fake player in B total equal to 3. Set that score to 3. Then it will activate the function B counter 10 game ticks. So inside of B counter 10 game ticks. So this is going to occur every 10 game ticks, because after it executes, it will schedule the function again in 10 game ticks. So what this function is going to do is it's going to execute at the B counter unless the block -1 is a B counter holds bees. Now this is a custom tag. Now the tag is here. Tags blocks holds bees. It just includes the bee nest and the beehive. So execute at the counter unless the block below it is a bee nest. So if there is not a bee nest or a beehive below it, then it will run this function, which is to kill itself, because obviously there's no bee nest at it. Then the next one is execute at the bee counter, run function detect bees. Now this is what actually detects the bees. And let's take a look at that function. In here, scoreboard player, it's quite a lot, but it's a simple concept. Now first I'm going to take a look into tick. This is what executes every game tick. So first it's going to execute at every entity. Now if you want to help reduce lag on your server or single player world, okay, you could switch this. Well, first you could add parameters. Okay, so you could switch it to type equals item. So now it will only loop through every item that exists in the world. Therefore, it will not cause lag by looping through every single entity. Or you could just switch this to at A, then it will execute through every player. So if you're in a single player world, then you would have to stand on the beehive. That'd be the only way to execute at it. But you could just mess around with that to limit what entities can trigger it. Okay, then it will, if the block 0.1 block below it is a bee nest or beehive, then it will align its position of the command on the XYZ. Okay, then positioned relative half a block in the X and Z direction. Now that just aligns it to the center of the block. Basically, that just positions it to the center of the block. Then, unless entity at a tag equals B counter is within a ... 1 block radius. The ... means less than or equal to. Then the .1, it could literally just be 0.1. That would make it a little bit easier to read, but I like to just have it as minimal as possible. So ... 1 means less than 0.1, less than or equal to 0.1 of a block distance. So if there's an arm stand right there, right where the arm stand is, then it's just not going to summon an arm stand. But if there isn't, then it will summon an armor stand with those tags. Now on to how it actually detects the bees. So this scoreboard player set at e tag equals b total 0, that's just a reset. So basically, the data of the bee nest or beehive will not tell you there's this number of bees in this bee nest. It won't give you a data value. But what you can do, we're going to put a dot here. That means that it's going to look inside of the bees tag within here, which is here. Then inside of it, colon, here we go, there's a square. So we need to put that. And what we're looking for is the curly brackets. So now the curly brackets within this square bracket. The curly brackets within the square bracket is what we are detecting. We are detecting if there is that curly bracket. So this curly bracket starts here. Okay, and then there's just a bunch of gibberish. But then it will stop somewhere around here. There it is. That's where it ends. And so this entire bee is just those two curly brackets. We only need to know this, because if these two curly brackets exist, then that bee is in there. And so we can figure out, this would be the first set of curly brackets. Now usually this is the data of the bee. Okay, this is the data of the bee. If there's one bee, 2 bees, and then 3 bees. But we can detect which position the curly brackets are in by adding this. Okay, if we do 0, then that will actually be the first one. So this would be the first bee, which is in here. Let's use this set a data value here, and store it into a scoreboard, which is exactly what we do. We execute store result of this data value into the score. So if there isn't a bee there, then the score will be 0. But if there is a bee there, then the score will actually be 3, because it's... So that is why at the end I divide it by 3. And that's what that scoreboard player is for. I set that value, that score, to 3, because I can't divide it by a number. I have to divide it by a score. Okay, then this is basically how that works. Put this in full screen. It's going to execute, store the result into the score of the arm stand at that bee. Run data get block, bees 0. So if there is at least one bee in here, then they will take up the first data value, which is 0. It's going to take up the first, there's going to be a curly bracket set in there, inside of this. So then that's going to have that there. Okay, then it's going to add the score to the total. Execute if there's a bee in the second spot for a bee, then add that score. Execute if there's a spot in there, if there's a bee in the third spot, add that score, divide by 3. And then here's how it just put the score into the name of the arm stand. It's just a data merge. There's only 4 data values that it could be, so I just execute if the score is 0, then edit the name to be 0. I looked and looked and looked. I couldn't find a way to just store a score, the data value of a score, into the name of an arm stand. So in the description of this video, you will find a zipped file called bcounter.zip. You're going to right click on it after you download it. You're going to click extract all, and then go ahead and click enter, or just click on extract. There it is right here. You do not need the zipped file anymore. You can go ahead and delete that. So in here is your bee counting data pack. You're going to go into the search bar in the bottom left. You're going to type in run, hit enter. You're going to type in %app data %, hit enter. Go to .minecraft. Saved the world you would like the data pack in. Data packs. You're going to drag it in, and there it is. So that is it for the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.